Good morning and welcome to the Rai Centre in Amsterdam on Sunday, September the 13th. In today's programme, TV on demand, should there be a common IP standard? You're watching IBC TV News. Also today, the 5-minute cell. We meet the hopeful innovators. More than 10 years in the making, a glimpse of Avatar at IBC.
This is great.
And saving money with the model camera platform. Those stories coming shortly. But first, the BBC is to allow third-party access to its successful iPlayer system, which allows viewers to see previously broadcast programmes on demand. The corporation says the move is in line with its public service remit. But rival broadcasters want a common IP standard and don't see why it should be the BBC's. The dispute will add to the debate started by News Corporation's James Murdoch. He says the BBC's vast online services, funded by the British taxpayer, make it impossible for commercial operators to compete. Gillian Kelly reports.
If the BBC's Board of Trustees approves the idea, the iPlayer will become open to all. Third parties will be able to run the technology on their own websites.
The fact that we actually have been able to crack iPlayer in a way where it's now available across so many devices is really unique, and we think that that's not a skill that you can easily replicate, and allowing others to benefit from those investments I think is very important.
With 5 million unique users a week consuming an average of an hour of video each, there's no doubt the iPlayer is hugely popular in the UK. But systems differ across Europe, and other broadcasters want to stick to their own way of doing things.
The question is really whether the BBC is now in a position to set standards in this area, or whether this is actually part of a bigger picture of convergence. And I suspect actually that on a global scale, the BBC is not necessarily in a position anymore to dictate standards in this particular area.
The end game for broadcasters and electronics firms is for on-demand services on the internet and mobiles to be made available in TV sets.
That the most popular websites, for example, of a domestic nature in each of the European markets belong to the public service broadcasters. So we're a big force to play in that environment, in the cable and the shall we say, the managed services environment, and also in the free-to-air environment. And what we're trying to do is bring all that together. And sure, standards are going to help. I'd just like if they helped a little bit better, a little bit quicker, and there were a little bit less of them.
But the BBC believes the iPlayer has a very significant USP.
Where iPlayer is unique and has not been surpassed by anyone in the industry is its multi- or cross-platform nature.
The details of how the open iPlayer will be rolled out are still to be discussed, but it looks unlikely there'll be a standard system for IPTV across the industry for some time yet.
Gillian Kelly reporting. Now, the BBC is largely funded by a compulsory licence fee, and this guaranteed income gives it a huge advantage over other broadcasters. That's why it can afford to make content freely available on the internet, and that breeds resentment from commercial rivals. But some industry leaders believe broadcasters should learn from mistakes made by the music industry. Well, last night I spoke to IBM's Saul Berman. He believes that if broadcasters try to charge for IP content at the point of delivery, they risk being undermined by other business models.
The key for broadcasters is you need to do what the consumers want, give them the content where and how they want it, enable the experiences they want, and figure out how to monetize that. What you don't want to do is what the music industry did, which is try and tell the consumer what to do and have them bypass you and have somebody else take over your business.
But how do the broadcasters and content providers maintain control?
Well, why do they have to have control? Increasingly, the consumer has control of what content they engage with, how they engage with it, what advertising they watch or they don't watch. The broadcasters have to do what they do well, which is make that content available to them in those forms, those places that they want, in a way that they can experience it in the way they want. You need to think about different business models clearly. Apple came along in the music business and said, we're going to have the reverse of the traditional razor blade model. We're going to give you the music, or you can pay us for it for near free, 99p or 99 cents, 99 euros, but you're going to pay us a couple hundred euros or dollars for the razor, as Gillette used to give the razor away, and you need a new razor every 6 months called an iPhone or an iPod or something. And, oh, by the way, we don't share that money with the music companies. We get to keep most of that money. So you need to look across the value chain. You need to look at where the value is shifting. And the broadcasters need to be looking at what we call payer innovation. Who pays? Maybe it's a different participant in the value chain that pays. Pricing innovation, what do you charge? Different pricing models, different bundles for different people. And thirdly, what is the product or service you're offering? Product innovation. So if you think about each of those areas, we do think it'll be a much more fragmented business, but you will have opportunities to monetize your content.
IBM's Saul Berman, one of the keynote speakers at the IBC conference. Now, with a roundup of the day's main business stories, here's Karen Griggs.
Thanks, Rob. Montenegro TV channel RTCG has announced a deal with EBS Technology. The public broadcaster has brought the new Zedio modular suite for tapeless news production. The project is being managed by AVC. Peel Media Studios has signed a letter of intent with TSL to equip a huge new complex in the UK. The site in Manchester will include 7 HD studios and 2 audio studios. Satellite owner SES Astra says Europe will have 420 HD channels by 2012. The company sees the Middle East as the next emerging market, with Africa some way behind.
You can expect that HD, particularly in the Middle East, will take up quite rapidly. I think Africa may take a little bit longer.
Globecast has spent €2 million upgrading its facilities to cover UEFA Champions League football. The spend includes Tandberg encoders and Snell and Wilcox Alchemist converters in 2 uplink facilities in the UK. And Quantel has announced 2 sales to IBC. The shopping channel QVC has brought a Quantel Enterprise SQ server-based production system. And London-based LipSync Post has bought a Quantel genetic engineering system. And that's how it looks at IBC today. We'll have more stories for you tomorrow. If you've got something to announce, then come and see us in the production village in Hall 9. Back to you, Rob.